Welcome back to Sunday Night Spookies, the podcast dedicated to exploring the mysterious and the spooky unknown. My name is Lex.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is episode 10, Lucid Dreaming and Astral Projection.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a huge fan of science, so this is very science heavy, I feel like.
Yeah, so I'm going to go first. And we're going to start with astral projection. I have a lot of information. Bear with me. Oprah really had my back on this one. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I Googled a lot and found many books about astral projection. And do you know who has no time to read books? It's me. So I found a lot of information from Oprah today.
Good on Oprah. Good on Oprah's publishers for reading books.
Right, yes, thank you. Astral projection or astral travel is loosely defined as the ability of a person's spirit to travel to distant places. So that's just...
It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, that's the loose definition. We dive a little bit deeper. It is an intentional out-of-body experience that involves going into a dreamlike but still conscious state, which can be achieved by using practices like meditation or self-hypnosis and traveling to other realms in space and time using the power of your mind.
Have you ever astral projected?
No.
I can't. I can't ever sleep, so.
I have, done the astral projection, meditation sequences on, YouTube and
stuff. Yeah, you
can
can find YouTube meditation things that...
It's never happened for me. I've gotten a really good meditation out of it.
Yeah, and they have, music that's set at certain hertz and frequencies that mix with other certain frequencies that are supposed to activate your mind to make you astral project. I've never tried it because I'm scared. What happens if it actually works?
And you're alone.
So I'm not brave enough.
No, me either. So it's kind of like being in a dream, but you're fully lucid, conscious, and in control of your own decisions. But you're still awake. And that's kind of what differentiates it from lucid dreaming. A little bit.
Yeah, because lucid dreaming, and we'll talk about it after astral projection, but you know you're dreaming, so you can control that dream. Yeah. You don't travel. I don't know, have you ever seen Insidious?
Oh, yeah.
You can't.
Regrettably.
Yeah. You can't just, zoom off and visit other places. I mean, you can, but it's in a dream. Your
it's
soul
a dream
isn't
state. Right.
Leaving your body or whatever it is.
This concept is based on the notion that humans have astral bodies in addition to our physical bodies, which are sometimes referred to our etheric, energetic, or subtle bodies. Mm-hmm. There is also an astral realm that spans far beyond the physical confines of the material realm that we live in.
And you can only get there by astral projecting.
Mm-hmm. Which kind of makes me, brings me back to dimensions also.
Yeah. Oh, because I can't.
It's, my brain can't fathom it. You may already be familiar with your energetic astral body or the astral plane if you practice crystal healing like Reiki or certain types of meditation. When someone astral projects, they connect with their astral body in order to transcend their physical body and are able to mentally explore throughout space, time, and dimension. Okay.
That sounds very intense.
Astral projection's a handful.
I feel like I'm going to need training to gear up to astral project.
That honestly, yeah, and we go into that a little bit more, but you have to build up.
Good.
You have to build up to astral projection. So, Ascension guide and channeler Laura Brown says, astral traveling is a great way to explore new realms, though it's not necessarily the easiest task to learn and takes a great deal of practice. However, it's well worth it because nothing is more freeing than realizing your physical self does not bind you.
Oh, do you have any hobbies? Yeah, I like to visit other realms and planes of existence.
Well, that's probably why yogis and people who are into crystals are so laid back. They're yeah, I'm not bound here. So
I'm not bound here.
I'm not bound here, so I can just chill.
I don't want to be bound here.
No.
Teach me the ways.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there.
Oh, good.
When you have an out-of-body experience, your brain's body schema, its perception of your physical form, is altered. Nothing is, quote-unquote, leaving your body, but your brain is not perceiving your body in the way that you're used to, which can sometimes give the impression that your consciousness is detached for a period of time. In astral projection, this is often thought of and depicted as the soul leaving the body and traveling to some sort of new plane of consciousness, but the scientific explanation does not support the existence of a soul that is separate from the physical body. Which kind of just like screws up my whole life a little bit.
Yeah.
We hunt for ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with science can't prove you have a soul. Because that's... I don't know. I don't know how you would go about trying to do that. But also...
Yeah.
I want to believe that we do have souls. Because we're all just a sack of bones and muscles.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have a soul, I'm inclined to believe that we would all be the same exact person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like...
It's not a comforting thought to think that it's...
No, because if we were all just... If we didn't have souls, and we all had the same, like... I don't know, I would just see it as, like, mass-producing brains. Because each brain has, like, synapses that fire, and there are things that happen in your body.
Some individuality, but then...
But if you didn't have a soul... You know what I mean? Maybe that's just sort of like a backassered's way to think about it. But that was, like, my first thought. I'm like, if you don't have a soul...
It messes up everything, because I'm like, we literally have based a lot of this podcast on searching for
souls. Lost souls.
That's a whole other can of worms, I feel like. A professor from the University of Ottawa's Brain and Mind Research Institute, Dr. Claude Messier, explains, the out-of-body experience is not a scientific validation for whether or not the soul exists. It's just a different way that the brain functions. It's consistent with many bizarre or out-of-the-ordinary ways the brain can function. Okay.
But then I feel like, how can your brain... If you didn't have a soul, and astral projection was just a different way that your brain functions, how could you go to other places? Your brain is stuck there. Like, your brain is in this meat sack. That's not going anywhere.
Your meat sack brain?
The physical brain isn't going anywhere. So how can that brain perceive other places if it's not there? If astral projection wasn't the soul leaving the body to travel, and it was just a way that the brain functions differently, how can it... You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm asking some deep questions today.
If there's any psychologists or doctors in the house, let us know.
Help me.
Dr. Messier and Dr. Susan Blackmore, a psychologist who had an out-of-body experience of her own in 1970. I noticed that out-of-body experience is the wordage for almost every astral projection story. It's a very out-of-body experience. But to me, that's different.
Yeah.
But that's the word they use to describe it.
Out-of-body experience to me is like something's traumatic happening, and I'm seeing everything in slow motion, or I'm seeing myself. Yeah,
like third person looking down is like how I...
That's my out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
Astral projection, I think, is different.
That's what I think, too. But, you know... So, Dr. Susan Blackmore and Dr. Messier have spent decades studying these occurrences and bristle at the oftentimes mystical explanations of astral projection. Dr. Blackmore says, the bottom line is that I think we now have the outlines of a complete neuroscientific explanation of what out-of-body experiences are. That doesn't mean we know every detail, but we have an outline. It is quite unnecessary and indeed totally unhelpful to talk in terms of astral projection because that is an ancient theory that simply doesn't fit the facts now.
I feel like she's just one of those people that had something crazy happen to her, like astral projection just happened, and then she's like, no, I'm not crazy. That didn't happen to me. And this is why. It's this.
But she talks about having her own out-of-body experience. But, like, no, it's not astral projection.
Which, to be fair, I don't think they're the same thing. Like, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So I wonder if she's just lumping the two together. Because an out-of-body experience is something that I feel like we can study. That's like a psychological reaction that people have all the time.
Right.
Astral projection is way different.
Yeah. The scientists are grouping it together.
I don't like that.
No, I'm not a huge fan. But they kind of go into the scientific side of the whole thing. So that's kind of what we're on right now. We're talking about the science about it, what the science supports, etc.
Which we all know that science supports a lot of the stuff that we talk about.
Yeah, usually. So Dr. Blackmore explains that when the body schema is disrupted by electrical stimulation, the brain can essentially lose track of the body, thus creating a feeling of disconnect between the mind and physical form. This creates the sensation of separation and the perception of your body outside of yourself.
Yes, for out-of-body experience.
Yes. Yeah. There is no scientific consensus on how to induce an out-of-body experience, as the vast majority of people who experience them do so involuntarily, and accounts of them are based on anecdotal evidence. In some cases, including Dr. Messier's and fellow University of Ottawa professor Dr. Andrew Smith's collaborative study, they called the study Voluntary Out-of-Body Experiences, the phrase corporeal, thanks, experience is also used, and they refer to it as ECE.
Okay.
So, while studying voluntary out-of-body experiences, they observed brain activity in a myriad of locations, including the temporal parietal junction. Don't know how I said that right.
Good job.
On the first time. There's just no way. Which was previously thought to be connected with out-of-body experiences due to its involvement with bodily perception as well as the cerebellum, which, quote, showed activation that is consistent with the participant's report of the impression of movement during the ECE.
Okay.
Unquote. Okay.
So that makes sense.
So they did a study on it, and basically they found that it was consistent. Their brain, the brain study was consistent with what they were saying was happening. Okay.
Yes, I like that. I think that they need to acknowledge that more.
Yeah, because I feel like the study is very, like, so far, the science is just like, it's not real. But I'm going to just straight up say I think that it's real. Yeah. But now they're like, okay, so there is some connection. Well,
and we're talking about like out of body experiences and astral projection. We both think that those are different things. Yeah. And I think their study shows that they're different things. Yeah. Because when you have an out of body experience, you're awake. You're not sleeping. Right. You're getting in a car accident, or you're about to get punched or something.
Right. Well, then they go on to say,
oh, good God.
that in fictional depictions, out-of-body experiences often hinge on the soul separating from the body, implying a distinction between the two that they don't support. So,
I think these two are just quacks.
So, scientists in this corner are focused not on the perceived separateness, but a word, of the mind and body, but on the way they function as one, which is why the disconnect is jarring. For them, I think, because it's not really jarring for me.
No, not for me either.
Messier compares the phenomenon to things like aphantasia, which is when a person can't form a visual image in their mind, which I think that might actually be me, but that's a story for another time. Or synesthesia, which is...
You can't, see things? See things that makes me sound nuts. For the record, I am.
But I don't know.
Because full disclosure, I go to therapy. So sometimes my therapist will be like, okay, close your eyes and picture a stream. And it's like to do something. You can't do that?
I know what a stream looks like. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But you can't create the scene in your head?
I cannot create the scene in my head. If somebody's just like, oh, you know my one water bottle? I could be like, oh yeah, I know that one water bottle. But I don't know if that's the same thing or if that's different.
I think it's different. Because I can do that too, but I
cannot form, if in meditations when it's like, just imagine you're floating or imagine this scene or whatever. I can't imagine the scene.
Why am I just not learning this about you?
I don't know if that's the same thing, for the record. I don't know. But I cannot imagine the scene. That's why it's so hard for me to meditate, because I can't imagine the scene.
Can other people imagine scenes, or am I just really nuts?
No, I think that's a thing that people can't do. But the first time I heard about that, it was on TikTok. I don't really want to talk about that, but I was just like, I think that might be me.
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just figured everybody could do that. I mean, some people can do it better than others. I knew that part, but I didn't.
Well, I mean, like, if somebody's like, picture a pencil, I mean, I know what a pencil looks like.
Yeah, but if I told
my
you
brain cannot, like, make, it has a hard time making things up.
Yeah, so if I told you to, like, close your eyes and imagine you're in 5th grade with the open desks, and there's a pencil sitting on that desk.
I mean, I remember having the desk, and I remember knowing what it looked like.
But you can't see yourself sitting there in your mind?
No, I don't think so.
How wild.
I don't know if it's, I don't know. Maybe I have, like, a low grade aphantasia or whatever it's called. Sorry.
I'm just so shocked.
Yeah, or synesthesia, which is the triggering of one sense automatically leading to the activation of another sense. Is that when people can, like, smell colors and stuff? Do you know what I'm saying? Or, like, some people can, like, see music or something like that?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Actually, I read a book about that. What's it called? I think it was called My Cat Called Mango or something, and she named her cat Mango because she saw it as Mango.
Oh.
Or something like that. I don't know.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know.
My mom will know. So, Mom, if you're watching this, please tell me what that book was.
Please tell us. Messier says that some people who've had out-of-body experiences themselves opt for the mystical explanation over the scientific one because of how strange and unfamiliar it feels. Rude, but that's fine.
Yeah.
He says, it's very hard to disbelieve that you are not outside of your body, but it's your brain playing tricks on you.
I don't like that. I don't like that explanation.
No.
Because then I go back to, well, if it's just my brain functioning differently, how was my brain able to travel? It's stuck there.
Right.
On my pillow.
Right. But your brain is telling you that you're somewhere that you're not.
I mean, I get it because you can dream, right? And I can dream that I'm
but
anywhere.
Also, isn't that what astral projection is, though? Because I mean, like, they talk about your soul leaving and whatever, but isn't astral projection just like you're not going anywhere either.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But isn't that what it is? Like, your brain is telling you, your brain or your soul or whatever,
That's a good point.
believes that it's somewhere else. So what they're arguing, and I think, thank God I put this together now, I think what they're arguing is your soul's not going anywhere. Right. I feel like right, but also, I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's making sense, but like when you are doing astral projection, like there is some talk about your soul leaving your body and traveling, but also it could be like your symbolic soul, like your brain, and how your brain perceives the separation between your body and your soul, and your brain is sending that representation of your soul somewhere else. And
that's a good point.
Is that making sense?
Yeah, it is making sense.
But I would argue that, it is your brain playing tricks on you because you are, in fact, still in your bed, or you're still on the couch, or wherever.
So little do they know.
So I think we're talking about the same thing, but they want to disprove
that you're... I get it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Hopefully everybody else gets it. Sorry for following me along on my like breadcrumb trail through the woods here, but that's what I'm going to say. They also say that the idea of floating above yourself, like
when I think of astral projection, I think of the stereotypical image of somebody laying flat on their back,
and their soul is like
floating above them.
Right. They say that that's rooted in some truth. Blackmore says that one of the reasons is because that view is relatively easy for the mind to assemble. Because we've seen it a million times. She conducted research on a group of students, asking them to close their eyes and picture the room they were in from different angles. Which I don't think I could do that. Just like...
Oh, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it's quick. With most of them agreeing that it was simplest to do either looking down or from a doorway, not from other vantage points like the floor.
Huh?
So basically she's saying if you were to close your eyes and picture the room.
Okay.
You're not picturing it from the floor. You're picturing it from like coming off the stairs. You're picturing it from like where you would be standing up. Right.
Yeah. I'm not
So
laying on the floor looking at the room.
Right. So I think what she's saying is that
okay,
you're
so
like
the image of
you're able to make up this image in your brain because you've seen it a million times before, or
Or because when you close your eyes and picture the room, you don't picture it laying down. You picture it as if you're upright walking.
Right.
Viewing different vantage points. So the theory of my soul's floating around leaving my body can kind of make sense.
Right.
Because if I'm laying down and sleeping, but I'm astral projecting, I'm not astral projecting like this.
Right. True that, though.
That makes sense.
So...
I still think she's...
I think they're trying to dismantle something. And just because something's doesn't have scientific basis doesn't necessarily mean it's not true.
Jesus doesn't have scientific basis.
Yikes. But also, yeah. But also true.
Yeah, yeah.
The concept of the astral body, which is in quotes every time that they write it, and no, astral body. It doesn't have to be astral body. Astral body, quote unquote. It doesn't need to be. It's explored in various religious texts, like the Quran and Hindi scriptures. So there's got to be, like, some ounce of truth.
Talking about, like, the image of a body, your soul floating above your body, they said that was perceived in religious text. Who started that?
Right.
Somebody must have had an experience like that or something
and
to just come up with it.
And talked about it.
Yeah.
Right. Ancient Egypt also had a concept of the soul separate from the physical body, which was divided into 8 different components, including the Ba, which was closest to the Western conception of the soul. So, putting a couple things together here and there.
Yeah, and I'm like, with stuff like astral projection, I'm so much more intrigued by the Eastern religions and way of life. Just for when they're older. Yeah. And 2, they don't seem to be as rigid and shut down. Yeah. About everything. Right. Which, I mean, I appreciate that.
They're willing to consider a separation of soul and body separation, and like your soul can do other things, where I think like other like Western religions aren't as open to that.
No,
idea.
not at all. I love studying other religions. I'm so curious about them.
Yeah, same. So they also say that astral projection, they say out-of-body experiences.
I don't agree with that.
Could be triggered by stress, physical changes, or traumatic events.
Yes, out-of-body experiences can be triggered by those.
That's where it's separate.
Angry.
Yeah, that's where it's separate for me, because astral projection is a choice.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody just be like, I accidentally astral projected.
You're not gonna, unless you're like really into meditation, then maybe you could accidentally astral project.
But you
if you've been training and like doing the thing,
doing all the meditation and stuff. But I don't know. Out of body experiences are so different to me.
That's what I think too.
As somebody who's had out of body experiences many times, it's totally different.
I think it's totally different too. They say that your brain holds an image and understanding of our physical being, often referred to as the body schema. They said that earlier. And when that's fractured, the perception of the mind in relation to the body can be altered. In response to trauma, yes.
Yes.
But I think the problem is that the scientists are trying to group out-of-body experiences and astral projection, and they're not the same.
No, not at all. They're not the same thing.
They want them to be, but I think that's the problem. That's the problem that we're having here. So Blackwell says, my interpretation now is that out-of-body experiences are caused when the body schema, the mental model of our own body in space, is disrupted. Okay. You can't get rid of your body schema. It's built in, and when that gets blown apart, it splits, and then your imagination just floats off.
I still have imagination.
So, yeah, same. So.
And that's not... that to me sounds like she's diagnosing somebody with some kind of personality disorder. And not...
Yeah. Like dissociation is what... Like dissociating. Like, I just don't think...
I don't think astral projection is a response to...
Trauma. It's voluntary.
It's 100% voluntary. Yeah. And it was in their study too. They took voluntary astral projectors. Mm-hmm. Voluntary.
Out of body experiences, those just happen. They're triggered by something, and then you're just like suddenly watching yourself from
and that's a trauma response.
Right.
It's not astral projection.
Astral projection is not a trauma response.
No. If it was, it'd be fucking weird.
Right. No. It can't be because it's voluntary.
Can't be.
Anyway, so I have the kind of dumbed down version of the beginner's guide to astral projection.
There we go.
So you start with meditation. That's the basis.
Yeah, which takes some time. Mm-hmm. Like, meditating is hard.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a meditative state of mind is a state of mind. You have to get there.
And if you haven't been there before, it's...
You can't just be like,
practice.
Okay, I'm meditating now.
Right.
It takes some, like, practice and training and technique and exercises to try to get your mind there. And for someone like me who has a lot of anxiety and my mind is racing all the time,
yeah,
it's such a hard place. And I've gotten to it before, but it's taken me like months of trying to meditate. And then at that point I just gave up because I'm like, well, that was cool.
Well, usually, like, the only time I've ever been able to meditate for real, like actually meditate as opposed to just being like really relaxed between awake and asleep, you know, has been in the tub.
Yeah, well, they have...
With all the lights off.
They have sensory deprivation tanks where it's like salt water where there's no sound, no light, and you literally... It's like a pod that you just float in. And that's supposed to, like, help with meditation, so people go do that. Like, they go to meditate.
Right.
But I think I drowned. I'm not...
It's a risk.
Bad luck just follows me.
It's a risk. So once you have the meditation down, it is suggested that you try self-hypnosis, because that'll get you into a deeper trance-like state, and it allows you to go further into your astral body and begin focusing on your specific intentions and goals, such as astral travel. They also say that if you want to set yourself on the right path for astral projection, you should try lucid dreaming.
I feel like you have to have one to have the other.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think very similar. Very closely related.
Yeah.
So now that you're able to get yourself into a deep meditative trance, you can take steps to get in touch with your astral body. During meditation, try to see your traveling self, or a more transparent version of yourself, lifting up and out of the physical. Once you've mastered that, work on turning around and seeing your physical body. This may not happen overnight, but keep practicing. If it doesn't come naturally, try visualizing your etheric body and aligning with it consciously. And don't get discouraged if it takes many meditation sessions to feel truly connected. And it will.
Yeah, it's just something you can do. And I've never astral projected. But I don't, as somebody who's tried for so long to be able to meditate and not being able to, and once I got there, not being able to hold it for very long.
Yep.
I feel like it would take, you have to be dedicated.
Right.
You have to be really dedicated to.
It's got to be a life goal.
Yeah.
To get there. Yep. So once you feel secure in your astral body, you can begin to access the astral plane, or the limitless mental space unbound by the material world. We can connect and align to the astral plane through our dreams, meditation, controlled breathing, visualization, and by letting go of our consciousness. That's from Lisa Stardust. She's an astrologer, so very fitting.
How do you let go of your consciousness?
I think you have to not have anxiety.
Well, first off, can't have anxiety.
First step, toss the anxiety disorder. Just
shit.
Right out.
I'm out. Well, that rules me out.
Yeah, same. So when we attain a trance-like energy through heightened meditation or lucid dreaming, usually by thinking on a situation or person, we can travel outside of our bodies through space and time to a place where we can unite with others and see situations from a different lens. Okay,
so that goes back to my theory of when people astral project, they have a goal in mind. So that they want
and maybe even like, and you also said about healing from a trauma.
Yeah, so maybe they're going to go back to that trauma. Kind of like how you do with like in hypnotherapy. That's like one of the goals, is that's how some people choose to treat their trauma. Is I'm going to be, hypnotized. I'm going to go back to my younger self, or I'm going to view this from my angle now and heal from it or whatever. Right. So I feel like this is just like a self-healing type thing. Yeah. Could be.
Or exploring. Yeah. Healing, exploring, venturing to different parts of your consciousness.
Yeah, just
whether
to find
it's
out what
happy or
happens.
sad or traumatic or whatever. At this point, by combining intention and astral body awareness to your meditative trance, you can begin to move through astral space and connect with new energies, ideas, places, and spaces in time. If you've reached this state in your practice, it may be time to begin your travels. After connecting with your astral body, consciously intend to send yourself to a specific destination. It's best to enter the astral space with an intentional destination or goal in mind so that you're not just aimlessly wandering.
Is that how you get lost?
Yeah. Well, that one show, Sabrina, you never watched that one. The new Sabrina, not like...
I watched the old one religiously.
Not like Melissa Joan Hart Sabrina, but the new one. I can't remember the actress's name. She's in the Doppelganger episode. But I'm sure it was that show. She astral projected to get something done. Yeah. And she had to like tie a rope to herself so that she could come back, which I don't think you have to do that in real life. I think in this...
Get this rope, all right, I'm ready.
And I think like the rope like got cut or like fell into where she... I don't know.
That's
to her dimension that she was in.
And it's like the Insidious movies, too. He has to like take a lantern and wander around the astral plane to find his son. Right. I think I'm not willing to risk that. I'm not ready for my soul to get lost in some plane, you know?
No, me either. No.
Not yet. Maybe in a few years.
Yeah, later when I'm more emotionally stable. Your intention could be to connect with a spirit guide. I suggest finding your spirit guide before you decide to go into something as deep as astral projection, because once you're there, I feel like if you're in need of a guide, you should already know it.
Well, especially like... And maybe this is just like media depictions, but I think if you didn't already have one, but you went with the intention of finding one, I don't know what could pose as a spirit guide. Like, if that's possible, like, do you find other things, other beings, other energies there? Like,
because it's your own subconscious, so I imagine yes, you would see. Possibly, there could be possibly bad things in your mind. Right? So who knows? Who knows what you come across? You could visit a place in the past or the future and find spiritual answers to questions that you are seeking in your physical world.
So you could almost use it as a form of divination.
Yeah, sort of.
Hard work divination.
Right. Yeah, really.
Just get yourself some tarot cards.
Highly recommend. Remember to always be cautious when astral projecting and use energetic cleansing techniques afterward to ensure that you didn't pick up any weird or unwanted vibes.
I feel like if you're doing anything like this, an energetic cleansing afterwards is kind of...
I just feel like energetic cleanse yourself after any type of self-care or like work on your
especially like this,
brain. Yeah.
This involved.
Right. Well, and I wanted to find some experiences to share, but to be honest with you, I couldn't really find any. And I think part of the reason for that is that astral projection is really personal, and like the things that you do while you're astral projecting are personal to yourself. Yeah. Whether that's like healing or trying to find answers to things, I couldn't really find anything. And Reddit is just like the hub of like everything and every topic, and people share like every experience they have in life on Reddit. And so I thought, hey, I'll be able to find something on Reddit. No. I typed into Google astral projection experiences, Reddit. Because if anywhere was going to have the experiences, it would be Reddit.
Probably Reddit.
No. I found 2 stories that were meant to be scary. Like, they were completely fictional with the intention of...
Like, telling around the campfire to teenagers?
Well, it was, like, under, like, the subreddit short scary stories. Oh. And I didn't want to share something that's not real.
Or under that title.
Right. Something that's, like, meant to be scary. Because I don't think astral projection is meant to be scary. It's meant to be, like, kind of self-fulfilling in a way. Yeah. But, so I don't really have anything on that.
We'd love to hear it if you guys have stories.
Yeah, I've never done it. You've never done it.
I'm too much of a wuss.
Yeah, same.
Like you said, I probably should be more mentally stable before I travel to other planes of existence.
True that. I can barely exist in this one. Okay.
So we mentioned a little bit about lucid dreaming, and we said that to get to astral projection, you kind of need to have experience with lucid dreaming. And this one is quite a bit more attainable, I'd say, than astral projection. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what lucid dreaming is, it's a type of dream that occurs when the person that's dreaming becomes aware that they are in the dream. So not like waking up in another plane of existence, but like, oh, this is a dream. I am in a dream.
Right.
Like my physical body is sleeping. I am in a dream. Since the person knows that they are dreaming, this can sometimes be the key to someone's manipulation of that dream.
Okay.
And that doesn't have to be a qualifying factor of lucid dreams, though, which is something that surprised me because I thought to be qualified as a lucid dream, you have to be able to manipulate what's going on. But
Me too.
You don't.
Okay.
You just have to be aware that it's a dream, and that qualifies as a lucid dream. So I've lucid dreamed a lot.
Well, yeah, because then I feel like I have too.
Well, and I've had dreams where like something bad's happening. I always have bad dreams. I don't know why. I'm just a magnet for bad things.
So weird.
We have a dream episode planned where we're going to go over our dreams and some popular ones. Guys, buckle up.
I have vivid dreams.
But you don't. You just have to be able... Like, I've had... Like I was saying, I have dreams that something bad's happening, and I'm like, Sarah, this is a dream. You have to wake up. Like, if you can just get yourself to wake up, you'll be fine. Yeah. And I do, and I wake up. And I guess that technically qualifies as a lucid dream.
Okay, because now I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get into my dreams, right? But, like, I've had dreams where I, like, think a thing is going to happen and then it happens. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's lucid dreaming, but I feel like I'll be like, oh, this person's going to walk in the door, and then they do. Or if that's just, like, but I realize I'm thinking that, and then I realize in my dream, hey, you just thought that, and then it happened.
Yeah, so probably lucid dreaming.
Whoops, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, well... Lucid dreaming is fairly popular. Studies have shown that about half of the population has had at least one lucid dream in their life. And these just happen. They're not... Some people have to work at them. Like, if you've never had a lucid dream, you might be able to get to there. Okay. And for someone like me, who's had plenty of lucid dreams before and just not really realized that I was having lucid dreams, it would take a little bit of practice, meditation, what have you, to be able to manipulate what's happening all of the time in that dream. Okay. So there's, like I said, there's moments where I'm like, no, this is a dream. This really isn't happening. If you wake up, you're going to escape whatever's trying to kill you or falling off this cliff or whatever in the dream. And then I wake up and it's fine. Sure. But it would take a lot for me to be able to be like, oh, this is a dream. I'm just going to stop this car from going off the cliff. Like, if I'm in a car accident in the dream, right, I can just be like, nope, this is a dream. I'm going to drive away, or I'm going to manipulate this in some way to go the way I want it. So lucid dreaming occurs when you're in REM sleep, and REM stands for rapid eye movement. I feel like that's pretty common knowledge.
Yeah, because you can't dream at all unless you're in REM.
Yeah, yep. And this is a very deep sleep characterized by fast eye movement, hence the rapid eye movement.
We're very scientific in America.
Faster eye movement, faster breathing, and increased brain activity. Okay. And the REM sleep occurs about 90 minutes after you first fall asleep, and it comes in waves. And I knew it came in waves, but I didn't realize this. Each wave increases in length. So your first round of REM sleep is only about 10 minutes. And then you drift off into a lighter sleep. And then the next wave could be 15 minutes.
I think I knew this from my Fitbit tracking my sleep.
Maybe.
Because it kind of goes like this on the schedule. Okay.
And then REM sleep can last up to an hour, but it typically doesn't go more than that. If it goes more than that, I think you're in a coma. Or something.
Whatever.
And scientists don't really know any causes of lucid dreaming. And I think this topic is kind of interesting to me because they've done a lot of research on it. They've really tried to find out why it happens. And they can't pinpoint a cause. They can't pinpoint a trigger. I mean, some people might have different triggers. Like, I know for me, if I get overly stressed, I have a lot more bad dreams. And with increased bad dreams comes with the increase of, hey, this is a bad dream. You've been having bad dreams all night. Wake up. This will end. Right. Type feeling. So it's proven that people who can trigger lucid dreams, or, like I said, when I get stressed, more dreams, more chance of me being able to realize I'm dreaming, they have actual physical differences in the brains. And this has been proven with MRIs, which I think is really freaking cool. They found that the very front part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is like right on your forehead,
Sure.
is distinctly bigger in those who frequently lucid dream.
Okay. So I'm smarter.
This is part of the brain that deals with high-level tasks like decision-making, recalling memories. I'm not good at making decisions, so I feel like there's...
That's anxiety, though.
There's other parts of my brain that are fucked up, so it's fine.
It's fine.
This suggests that people who have lucid dream are more self-reflective than those who don't. I don't know if I'm self-reflective or
So
not.
I'm smarter and more self-aware. Okay.
Cool.
Great.
Another study from Germany suggested that lucid dreaming could be the in-between state when you're not fully awake, but you're not fully asleep either. However, that has been fairly disproven by the fact that you can't lucid dream unless you're in REM sleep.
Right.
So I don't know what this German study was doing. I read a little bit about it, and that was their conclusion, that it's possibly the state between waking up and deep sleep.
I don't think so.
But that's and like kind of like the astral projection out of body thing. I think this is a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. Like I don't, and you don't dream unless you're in REM.
I feel like it's two different things, and I'm gonna share something really personal about myself. This is gross. Okay, so I think I just feel like I lucid dream all the time because I'm always making decisions in my dreams. Mm-hmm. But like. Lucid dreaming is in your REM sleep but I think what they're talking about, like with the in-between spot, there was this one time, this is so gross. We'll put it on the internet, it's fine. Like one time I had a dream that I spit in my dream. Remember me telling you about this?
Yeah, I remember this now.
I had a dream that I spit in my dream, but I must have been in like that weird middle space because I literally woke up and spit on my pillow. And I was like, God, that's on the internet now. But whatever. I'm not really like embarrassed by it, but I just like, and then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck?
I can just imagine like waking up and rolling over and be like, no?
Well, I think that's also like when people talk in their sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
I laugh in my sleep, which is freaking weird.
Yeah, it's...
My husband will be like, Sarah, wake up. Because I'll be, like, hard, like, chuckling in my sleep, and he'll, like, nudge me and be like, will you chill? That's creepy.
Well, to me, that has to be in that weird middle ground, because if you're in your REM sleep, you're not talking.
No. And I agree with it being in the middle ground, because it always happens when... he's got something playing on the TV. Like if he's up at night watching something on the TV in the bedroom and I'm sleeping next to him, he always wakes me up when I'm laughing, and it's because he's watching something stupid on the TV.
Right.
I don't hear it. I don't remember hearing it. I don't remember
playing
laughing.
in your brain or whatever. And you're like, oh, that's funny. And you laugh out loud. But it have to be in the middle.
It's just weird that people can laugh in their sleep. I've cried in my sleep too. Like I've woken up just sobbing.
I've woken up like not being able to breathe
because you're sobbing so hard. Yeah, and I don't remember why. I don't remember what I was dreaming to make me that upset.
Right.
But
whatever.
But I think that is like the in between, and lucid dreaming is something different. Mm-hmm. Because you're in REM sleep.
You're in REM sleep. If you're in REM sleep, there's no way that I just feel like there's no way that you're talking or laughing or spitting on your pillow in REM sleep, because those are like motor functions. And I feel like, am I a doctor? When you're in REM sleep, like that's
Alexa Selzinga, MD.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on YouTube. It's like, if you're in your REM sleep, that is not the time that your body takes to rest all of those motor functions. Yeah. To like start anew the next day or whatever.
Yeah. That's why if you don't get REM sleep, you are exhausted. It doesn't matter if you slept for 10 hours. If you didn't get any decent amount of REM sleep in that sleep, you're going to be exhausted. Because that's really the sleep you want.
Yep. I think I just cracked something wide open.
Some scientists believe that you can dream in any state and you can lucid dream in any state of sleep. I don't believe it.
No.
I don't believe it. So there's some benefits to lucid dreaming, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know if I believe all of them.
Okay.
But I thought it was kind of interesting. Lucid dreaming, this is a funny one to me. Funny, not funny. Can lead to less anxiety.
Okay.
And when I read that, I was like, somebody come study me, because...
Like, in what way?
It said that the amount of control that you get in your lucid dream can give you a better sense of empowerment, therefore less anxiety in your everyday life.
Okay.
Not true for me.
Okay, I respect that hypothesis.
Yeah, same. I wish it were true for everybody, but here I am.
Respect the hypothesis.
Studies have also shown that you can get better motor skills. And this one I thought was really weird. It said that simply practicing things in your lucid dreams can make you better at them in real life. Not like jujitsu. Like, you can't just be a black belt in your lucid dream and then wake up and be like, I know jujitsu. Like, that's not a thing. But it said that if you write in your dreams or type in your dreams, your words per minute typing will go up. So, like, small little things like that. I thought that was really weird. And I kind of want to try it.
I'm trying to think of something that I want to be better at so I can do it in the next time I dream.
Applying eyeshadow. Just like
Facts.
lucid dreaming. Not that you're bad at applying eyeshadow. It's just the first thing that came to my mind.
The first thing I thought of was just like, if I sing in my dreams, will I be a better singer?
Listen, I've offered lessons so many times.
But then I'd have to sing in front of somebody, and that's just not happening. So
everyone comment below and tell me that I need to teach Lex.
It's fine.
Okay. You can also get better problem-solving skills.
just
for those of you in the podcast, the face that she gave me was great.
Feels unlikely for me.
It said that some small studies have shown that you can improve your problem-solving skills by dealing with conflict with other people in your lucid dreams.
I don't even want to deal with conflict when I'm awake.
Me either.
So I'm just like, I can't imagine that.
My lucid dreams are getting myself to wake up so I don't have to deal with the conflict that's coming.
True that.
I don't know. And it said that you can gain more creativity by having all the freedom in the world in your lucid dream to do whatever you want.
Sure.
You can get more creativity. So they say. And some people have legitimate reasons why they choose to practice lucid dreaming and get really good at them. So one reason that people lucid dream is to escape reality and create their own. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. People can do anything, really, in their lucid dream. And so they practice it to gain more control to play out their dreams or fantasies or whatever in their dreams.
Okay.
Another reason people lucid dream is to unlock the true power of the brain, which I thought was interesting, especially because we were talking about astral projection and the limitless power of the mind and all this kind of stuff. With unlimited scenarios and realities in your dreams, the lucid dreaming, and lucid dreaming is characterized by very realistic, like nothing is fuzzy.
Sure.
Like everything is very crisp, very clear, you're very aware. And so they think that that's like more lucid dreaming unlocks more parts of the brain, therefore, you know, like it's kind of just all connected. Same thing with astral projection. So this might sound like normal dreams. Like, I've had plenty of really vivid dreams, but I don't feel like those ones were lucid dreams. There's a distinct difference between lucid dreaming and just normal dreaming, clearly. And I think the reason that science has tried to explain it is because it's such a common thing.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing to be able to do. Like, oh, I can do all this stuff in my dream. I wrote down that I wanted to explain it in like an example type way. So I have a dream where I'm being chased by a monster.
Okay.
That's not an everyday event. I don't get chased by monsters. In a lucid dream, I would stop and be like, oh, wait, this isn't real.
You're gone or whatever.
This is a dream. And I would turn around and I would shoot flames out of my hand at the monster, and then the monster would explode and I would walk off a cliff because I can fly.
Okay.
And I want it to fly.
Okay.
In a normal dream, I mean, you might have dreams that you're flying, but you didn't make the conscious decision to fly, typically. Okay. Like in normal dreams, like, oh, I had a dream that I was flying. But in that dream, you didn't stand on a cliff and be like, I'm going to fly right now. Because this is a dream. I know I can do anything. I'm not going to get hurt. I'm going to jump off this cliff.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of like the difference. Or like The Matrix. And this is like, throughout this research, I was like, The Matrix, The Matrix, The Matrix.
Never seen The Matrix.
Neither is my friend Rob, and I'm coming after him for it. You're gonna watch it. It's kind of old. It's got Keanu Reeves in it. I love Keanu Reeves.
I knew it had him in it.
I love Keanu Reeves. But basically, a very, very, very dumbed down version of the movie is this guy is people live in a simulation. Like, it's post-apocalyptic, machines have taken over the world, AI has taken over everything, and they keep humans in pods of slime, basically, to just harvest their energy or whatever they're doing.
Sure.
But he meets somebody who has woken up, and they know they're in a simulation, and they've broken out of the pods into the real world that's just machinery. Like, it's just this disgusting barren landscape full of pipes and machines and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
So they have to try to convince him that he is in fact in a simulation and he can wake up and live his life for the greater cause of destroying machines or whatever.
Sure.
You can imagine how if I walked up to you and said, Lex, this is a simulation. Take this gun and shoot me in the head. And I'm not going to die because this is a simulation. This is a dream.
I would not do it.
You see how that would take a little bit of convincing?
Yeah, a lot of convincing.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a lot of convincing. Well, it's good to know I'm safe. That
for now.
That's kind of like what gaining control in your lucid dreams has been described like.
Okay.
It's gonna take a lot for your mind to realize, like I said, I can in my dreams be like, nope, this is a dream. Wake up, and the bad stuff will stop happening. Mm-hmm. That's all I can do at this point.
I can do that too.
I'm not an avid lucid dreamer. I can't, like I said, be chased by a monster and shoot flames in my hand because this is a dream. I can do whatever the hell I want. So I think that's what makes it so cool to me. Not only is it like the Matrix movies, and I love the Matrix movies, but it's like a proven thing.
Yeah.
Like, people have had MRI scans while they're lucid dreaming, and it's like your brain waves detect it, and your brain is bigger if you lucid dream, and like all this kind of, like, scientists have kind of proven that it happens.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so cool, because they've proven that it can happen. We don't know why.
Scientists seem more accepting of lucid dreaming than they do.
Oh yeah, there was article after article after article of all these scientists talking about lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Which brings me back around to, why don't they accept astral projection then?
I think because people are this is my own personal opinion. I think it's because people are uncomfortable with the idea that our mind goes beyond, like, our stationary reality. Because when you're dreaming, it's like I think people are comfortable with that because it's a dream.
And it's called a dream.
And your dreams go weird places all the time, and that's comfortable. Mm-hmm. I mean, sometimes it's not comfortable, but it's a comfortable thought to have. But when you think about astral projection, you're voluntarily choosing to be somewhere else mentally. Mm-hmm. And I just think people aren't comfortable with it.
That's a good point.
I mean, because people already think that meditation is like a scam. Or like a crock. Like, no one... Yeah. Some people just, like, think that it's not real. I mean, it is, but...
Your brainwaves change.
Yeah.
There's physical evidence that shows, yes, a meditative state. Mm-hmm. Which I think is cool, too. Like, I just...
Yeah.
And I going off of your thing, I think because it's called a lucid dream, mm-hmm. It's a dream. It's not real. It's a dream.
Right.
But I think it's really cool that your brain's able to realize that this is a simulation that's happening right now. I could do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit to get there. Maybe I'll try to have control over my lucid dreams.
A fun fact about lucid dreaming that I know, and I don't recommend ingesting anything. I don't. But there's an herb. Is that the right word? Mugwort.
Oh yeah, I actually have some upstairs.
You can but it's good for a lot of things.
It's good for a lot of things. I like herbs. Fun fact.
But you can ingest. You can make a tea of. Not recommending that. Don't try it at home.
Do it at your own risk. We're not doctors. All the disclaimer things.
Don't sue me. You can make a tea out of mugwort. It's gross.
It's gross.
I have done that in the interest of trying to lucid dream. Mm-hmm. Nothing happened, but whatever.
I think you'd have to ingest quite a bit of it. Like, I think you'd have to consume a pot of tea, not a cup of tea of this stuff. Especially if it's not, if it's dried, it's less concentrated.
Yep.
So if you
And
get
it was
fresh,
dried.
yeah, it was dried. Because I have it upstairs.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of things. But mugwort is supposed to induce lucid dreaming. So that's a thing that I know.
Yeah, and that's safer than acid, so.
Well, you can get mugwort, well, not anywhere. I'm not going to say anywhere. You can get it from, like, any spiritual shop.
Yeah. Oh, you can also pick it in the wild. If you know what it is.
If you know what it looks like and where to get
Don't
it.
go out picking random leaves and making teas and coming after me for it.
No.
If you are qualified and practiced and know what it looks like in the wild, and you would like to do it at your own risk.
Yeah, no ingesting or burning or soaking of leaves of any sort on our account. Thank you.
Wow, you really turned this around.
Yeah, it's fine. We are who we are at this point.
So to close out, I have on my phone, I have some notes. I'm going to grab it. My husband has had very weird, I don't want to say psychic, but it's the only word that's coming to mind, premonitions lately. And it's just, he's so not a spiritual person. He's not.
No, I can second that.
He's just kind of here. Like, he's just.
He exists.
I love him very much.
He's logical.
He's very logical. Very, if science can't explain it, I don't believe it.
Yep.
Cut and dry guy.
Which is a very interesting
Combination for me.
combination over there. 'Cause different people.
Oh, yeah. Very different people. So I was doing this research while he was sleeping. He works third shift. You don't know about this yet.
Okay.
And I was sitting in the chair in the living room doing the research, and I had to wake him up at 8 p.m. before he went to work at 9. So to give him enough time to wake up, eat something, get shower, and go. So it was like 7 o'clock, and I'm sitting out in the chair with the dogs, and I'm doing all this lucid dream research, specifically lucid dream research. And I walk in to wake him up, and he looks at me like I'm crazy. And am. But I was like, hi, it's time to wake up for work. Right. Like, why are you looking at me like that? And this is what he said. I wrote it down because it's fucking confusing. So gear up.
Okay. I'm ready.
We're going to have Austin 1 and Austin 2 in this scenario.
Okay.
Austin 1 is my real husband.
Okay.
Like, real dude at his friend's house right now.
Okay.
So Austin had a dream that he was sleeping.
Austin 1.
Austin 1 had a dream that he was sleeping. In Austin 1's dream, he was sleeping.
Okay.
So Austin 2.
Austin 2 is the guy that's asleep in Austin 1's dream.
Yes.
Got it.
Austin 2 was also dreaming.
Okay. I'm like, okay.
In Austin's 2 dream, he was sleeping. And he needed to wake up for work.
Okay.
So he woke up. And he checked his phone. And it was 8:10 p.m. And he needed to be up at 8. But Austin's 1, in Austin 1's dream, he realized that he was dreaming.
Okay. So Austin 1 was dreaming about dreaming. Did I put too many dreamings?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. So he went back to bed. Austin 2.
Okay.
Or no. Austin 1's dream.
Okay.
He had a dream that he was sleeping. And in that dream, Austin 2 woke up. He was late for work.
Okay.
The first dream, Austin realized that was a dream.
Okay.
So dreaming Austin realized he was dreaming about Austin sleeping.
Okay.
So that dream went back to bed.
Okay.
And then he woke up at 6:30.
Austin 1.
No, dream Austin 1.
Okay.
So after the 6:30 p.m. wake up,
okay,
and Austin 1's dream guy went back to bed, he woke up when it was actually time for work, which then made actual Austin wake up when I opened the door to wake him up at 8 p.m.
Okay. I understand, but I also don't understand. Like, I understand, but boy, am I confused.
I sat there, first of all, he tried to explain it to me, and I was like, what? Did not get it. So I sat on the edge of the bed and I was like, I'm writing this down in my notes. You have to explain it to me in a way that I can use it for the podcast because I was just talking about lucid dreams.
Okay.
So it doesn't really qualify as a lucid dream per se.
So he had like, okay, because like, I feel like, I don't know if everybody has these dreams, but I have a dream sometimes that I'm waking up late.
Oh yeah, all the time.
So he had a dream that he was waking up late.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so the first dream,
which caused Austin to not wake. Austin won to wake up.
No.
Earlier.
I think are we just confusing ourselves? I'm going to explain it. Okay, so. Okay, we'll go Austin 1, Austin 2. That'll be it. Okay, so my Austin had a dream that he was sleeping. Austin 1. Austin 1 had a dream that he was sleeping. Austin 2. Austin 2 woke up late. Austin 1 realized that that was a dream that he was waking up late.
Okay.
And Austin 1 woke up.
Okay, so.
And then Austin 1 went back to bed to wake up at 8 when it was time to get up, which made Austin, the real Austin, wake up when I opened the door to wake him up at 8 p.m. to get ready for work.
Jesus. That is a lot. But also very conscious.
Yeah. And he's had, sorry, I asked permission to talk about that dream. I don't know if he wants to talk about his other dreams. Sorry. But he's had dreams before where I go to wake him up with dinner. Because sometimes he'll be like, I'm going to go to bed. I don't know what time I'm going to wake up. If you make dinner, make me dinner, wake me up with dinner type thing.
Sure.
He's had dreams, and I don't tell him what I'm going to make him. I just decide I'm going to have this for dinner, and I'll make him this or whatever. He's had plenty of dreams where I'm waking him up with dinner, and it's what I'm actually bringing him for dinner.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I just had a dream that you brought hamburgers in for dinner. I'm like, yeah, I have them right here.
I did bring them.
I'm waking you up with hamburgers for dinner.
Yeah.
And that happens to him all the time.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just because the guy only eats like 4 things. Or if it's just...
Could be.
He's just fucking weird.
His conscious had a lucky guess.
Yeah, maybe.
It's either mott sticks or hamburgers. Let's see.
Or mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
But his dreams are so strange.
Yeah.
I want to try to get to like... I want to ask him if I can write down some of his other dreams for our actual like dreams and their meanings episode, because I think it'd be fun to include some of his weird ass dreams.
Yeah, I had a dream last night that I should have written down. I thought about it after I woke up, but then I went back to sleep and I was like, oh, I'll just think about it really hard. I'll remember it and then I'll write it down. Have no idea what it was. I know I woke up anxious, but that's all I remember.
Yeah. There's specific dreams that I remember. Like, I was telling my friend Rob, I had a dream where I was supposed to meet him in an airport and I couldn't find him. And he was on the phone. He's like, no, I'm here. And I'm like, no, you're not here. You're not here. And so the whole dream was just me panic running around an airport. I don't want to fly. I'm terrified to fly. And so you were talking about flying and he was talking about flying. And I think that the dream was just like a combination of the two.
Yeah.
But stuff like that I remember because it was a really frantic dream.
Yeah.
Or I've had like, there's been other dreams that like just stick with me. But I don't think I've had any lucid dreams stick. Not like where I can remember.
Not unless I wrote them
days
down.
later. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can lucid dream, which I didn't know I could before. And I'm kind of excited to find out what happens.
Yeah. It's kind of weird to me that I haven't tried. Besides, like drinking the mugwort tea, I did try that. Nothing happened. But then the fact that I'm lucid dreaming and not trying.
Because I just thought being able to like, I'm sure lots of people can just wake themselves up. But that technically is a lucid dream. When you, in the dream, realize this is a dream and you wake wake yourself up, that's technically a lucid dream.
Interesting.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah. So if any of you have ever lucid dreamed or astral projected,
yeah, I want to know.
We definitely want to know and we want all of the details. So sorry. You can let us know on any of our social media sites. We are on Instagram at Sunday Night Spookies, on Twitter at Sunday Spookies, on Facebook at the Sunday Night Spookies podcast, on TikTok at Sunday Night Spookies, and on YouTube at Sunday Night Spookies.
We also have a few links in our description box. We have one for Buzzsprout, which is the hosting website we use for a podcast. It is amazing, guys. It keeps track of everything for me. It's all in one website. It's awesome. So if you'd like to start your own website, you can use our link. We also have a link for our Instacart. Affiliate link, which I love Instacart. I use it almost every week. I hate grocery stores. I hate grocery shopping, especially in a pandemic. I don't want to be in crowds anyway. So that just gives me all the more reason to use it. If you use our link, you can get free delivery on your first order of $30 or over, which is a pretty good deal. Our Amazon affiliate link stopped. So that's it. Oh, sports show. I'm an idiot. And we also have a support the show link. We are two broke college girls who love adventures, ironically.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to donate, everything goes right back into the podcast. Every cent's appreciated. If you'd like to see us go to a specific haunted location, you can throw a note in on the Cash App and we will try our damnedest to get there for you. And don't forget to like or rate and subscribe.
Yes.
Rate, especially on Apple Podcasts. The more you give us the 5 stars, it's a weird algorithm, but the more 5 stars we get, the more exposure we can get, which means potentially better content for you guys as we grow as a podcast. So don't forget to rate. It helps us out so much.
And that goes for subscribing too. YouTube. Even if you only listen on the podcast, maybe just like hop over. Even if you can't watch us, just like
click the little subscribe button.
Click the subscribe button. I think that's like the first time that we've said that.
I know. We're awkward.
Click that subscribe button if you haven't already.
And the notification bell.
Yeah. Yep. So you can get all of our videos as they're uploaded. Yep. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Sunday Night Spookies.
Join us next week for our episode about our recap of the Doherty Hotel investigation.
New episodes are released every Sunday evening. Thanks so much for listening. And as always, stay spooky.